Hi, everyone, and welcome to the special simulcast, The Neil Haley Show, and now a new podcast, AI Office Hours with Pat Riley and Neil, the media giant Haley. Pat, I'm glad we're going to do these office hours because I think that so many people go through this pain or it holds us accountable. I talked to you last week when I was in Georgia how I wasn't holding myself accountable for what my AI actions are. But you're the first on the table. What's happening with you AI this week? And I got a lot to talk about because I did deliver this week on AI and I
Okay.
nearly got exhausted and passed out. So let's talk about your experience first.
Well, I mean, the immediate experience is, of course, every Friday morning I work remote. I try to get Rich up and running. I'm like, "Good morning, Rich. How you doing?" And I'm like, "Hey, I noticed that you're out of date. Let me do an update." And he's like, "Okay, cool." So I did the update. Well, I guess there was several versions behind. And he's like, "Oh, I'll do a restart." And did a restart, and it was just nothing ever since. And so I've spent about an hour getting them back up and running. I have Manus helping me. I basically copy paste the results out of OpenClaw, put it in Manus, and it says, "Oh, try this, try that," and it tried quite a few things. So the last little bit did work, but he had to roll back a little bit. So that was one of the issues. And of course, Rich is like, "What do you mean there's a problem?" He's like, "Oh, it looked like the restart worked." No, it kind of brought it down. So that was a bit of an issue. Um, just the other updates throughout the week. I haven't been doing too much. I've just been, busy at work, planning on my trip for next Friday. So I think we'll have to reschedule Friday since I'll be out of
Yes.
town.
Yeah, we'll figure another
Um,
day this week.
yeah, we'll get that worked out. But yeah, it's been very, very busy. I did get some feedback on the ghostwriting book. It's funny, I think I got up to chapter 25 and then um I sent it off to my neighbor and it was what was it? Two, three, four, five. She's like, cut it at chapter one. They went an extra four chapters. So I was like, holy crap. So she's like, yeah, those last four chapters didn't do anything for me. She's like, cut them. She's like, you can end it at 21, you're fine. I'm like, great. So what the hell does Ghostwriter write? I mean, and I was going through it. It's just there was some repetition in there. So I pushed those results back to him saying, "Hey, how about you fix these?" And yeah, there was a few things, even foreshadowing. I'm like, I did see that in the beginning. I'm like, boy, you really just jumped right in. Like, hey, this is what we did. I was like, no, scale it back a little bit. So, they're ready to publish. And I'm like, no, you're not. So now I got to get them on a call and just go through that with them. But um, yeah, I've been busy. Like I said, Rich, not great, but and then I like Manus. I've been really drawn to Manus more. I've got him on Telegraph, so I just ask certain questions and it gives me answers. I had a question about something I read in the news and I see on social media. And I'm like, is that true? And he did break it down very easily for me. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Cool. That all right, I'm good with it. But still not a good thing, but he explained it to me really well. So
Okay. So this week goal was loops and
yeah.
define a
Oh,
loop as
oh,
go.
I'm sorry. I do have one other minor thing I did look into. I might have to send you that. So one of the things I do, besides watching podcasts, producing podcasts, hosting podcasts, when I watch them, there was one. I love this guy, Caleb Hammer. I don't know if you see him. He does financial audit. And it's funny because he had this guy on, and I think I'll have to send you the title, but basically this was supposed to be the dumbest guy he ever had on a show. I'm like, great. He asked him, he's like, what do you do? He's like, I'm an entrepreneur. Cool. How much you bring in? He couldn't answer how much he brings in. He really didn't have any money coming in. He looked at it, he's like, you got 3,000 on a Venmo. Who sent you that? And he's like, I don't know. What do you mean? And that's it. That's like all his income for the whole month was like three
What is he
grand. I'm
putting
like,
himself on the show for?
well, he's trying to like, oh, I need the budget and this and that. Well, one of the
Well, he shouldn't
problems
have put
that,
himself out there to tell what he's truly doing. Oh my goodness.
yeah, but it broke down to his entrepreneurship was basically all about running bots. He has OpenClaw and he's like, I've got Hermes. And of course, Caleb Hammer's like, you got herpes. What? So he's like, oh no, I got my Hermes agent running, and he's like, obviously it's not doing anything for you. You're not getting any money on this. And of course, he has all these different AI subscriptions. He's like, cut the subscriptions, and he's like, oh, I'm paying all this money to Fiverr. I've got all these employees on Fiverr. He took out like 20 grand or borrowed 20 grand from his dad, and I'm like, boy, this guy. And of course, Caleb Hammer's like, get a job, get a real job that pays you money. He's like, this isn't bringing any money in. He's like, you've been doing nothing for the last 8 months. He's like, well, I educated myself on um, AI. It's like, it's not paying off. So luckily, like I said, I know I don't spend much. I keep it minimal, but I have a full-time job. So I really treat my AI addiction as a hobby, and that's
There's
all
so
it is for
much
now.
money to be made, Pat, and that's the
There is,
problem.
but that's the problem is that people get stuck in that. They'll hear that like, oh, I get you can make so much money. This guy quit his job and started just dumping money into subscriptions and
Because AI
learning
told
and
them they
stuff.
could do it.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And that's exactly it. The AI said you should do this. Buy this URL because it's worth money. So he spends 3 grand on a URL. I was like, ugh, that's not good. Why would you do that? Stop. So
Okay.
yeah.
He sounds like he needs to go to Clubhouse, then where the imposter syndrome lives. Clubhouse,
Yeah.
shout out to Clubhouse, but I left when it was hot and I'm not back and I'm glad. All right. So this is all interesting stuff. What I told you, I
Mhm.
really was mad at myself. I
Uh-huh.
didn't get loops going. I do have
Okay.
loops going.
Nice.
And what we're going to do is I'm not going to show you unless, but I decided I am going to give away my ancient Chinese secrets. I don't care because you guys aren't going to be able to duplicate them. Because here's the one thing I'm going to tell you, Pat. What I can do with AI is different than somebody else can. They
Yeah.
could try to do it, but ultimately they have to have let's say you have a good business, but you can't sell, Pat. You're never going to grow your business.
Yeah.
You can't
Exactly.
get leads. You're never going to grow your business. Everyone creates education. That's their big business. That's not a
Hmm.
business, a service-based business. Education is a great thing, but that's after you grow your business to a revenue level. You don't have to worry about if I need to sell the next person to a membership. That's
Hmm.
my take.
Yeah.
I might.
Yep.
Okay, so here's it. Loops. Spark is ingenious, but I'm still dealing with my AI assistant. So I'm doing my DDPY workout. Shout out to Diamond Dallas Page, uh, and working it while talking to my Gemini assistant. Some days it creates documents, some days it doesn't. I decided to go into a separate chat every time. So if I'm working out for an hour, I'm in separate chats for each one of my clients after it tells me my entire calendar. The only reason I work with Gemini is because it can read across apps sometimes, it can do certain things, and it can pull up my calendar. None of the others will be able to pull up your calendar, and that's why it's better. You can maybe challenge me on that one, but I like it having the Google ecosystem. So I created loops with Spark. So if you guys have tried Gemini Spark, it is a gold mine in creating loops. And Pat defined a loop for us last week on the pod, or 2 weeks on the 3 weeks in the podcast. A loop is something that continuously has a beginning and an end, and it continues to go till it gets that result. Well, I have it on a continuous loop. And this is the loop. 2 Spark ones so far while I'm building my Claude ones. And I'm going to have 40 agents running in Claude probably next week. I don't know how much it's going to cost me. So you'll have to come back and say, okay, Neil, you have all these developed, but it's going to really make me strong with my clients. And if agencies are not doing this stuff, you fire your agency quickly because there's no reason your business can't have the same intelligence that Microsoft has or Google has if you truly put the time into this and not just have somebody, I came up with a strategy for all my clients and it's the same. There has to be customization agencies or you will die. You will die a short death, and I will prove that to you. All right, so back to the loop. Loop
Hmm.
one, I have Gemini Spark, and it's getting there. Go through all of my client, they look at my calendar and create a brief for each client on my calendar every day. Monday through Friday. I don't have them do loops on Saturday and Sunday. That would be an absolute waste if I put someone in the calendar Saturday or Sunday. So it goes through and preps me in every call. Even if it's someone on the list that I don't have any information, it goes through my calendar. It goes and looks up things and prepares me completely for the meeting. And I told them to give me the main gist, and they're still not there yet from my prep I do with my my training buddy, Gemini. and they're doing better, but it does it on a loop. Every one of them, a brief in the documents every day. Not bad. So you have every call with all the, and I have historical stuff too. So it'll give other historical background, anything it's pulled from your Gmail account, and it goes and gives you that report for that thing. So that loop is doing well. My other loop's more of a headache, but I want your response because you have to talk too, because you're the tech guy. Go.
Yeah. And of course, going through your loop, and that makes sense, pull data down, process it, move to the next one. I wouldn't really call it an infinite loop because, of course, if you just go into that infinite loop where it just keeps repeating, well, you're going to go back up to the start because it'll just rotate through your list of clients. You don't have an infinite list of clients. That'd be nice if you did.
It's
But
not an
because,
infinite loop, so thank you for telling me that. But I have a loop, right?
yeah,
If
you've
it's
got a
already
loop.
programmed and it's already done and it does it every day, and
Yes,
I
yes,
tweak
you
it,
have a loop. Mhm. But
so I
you
call.
call it continuous. So I wouldn't really call it continuous. Continuous is like infinite. You don't want an infinite loop because then those just never end.
But you tweak
And
it.
again,
You
you
got to
tweak it,
tweak your
sure.
loops. Tell us why you have to tweak your loops.
Well, because if it's not executed off the of a step that you need, or if you're missing a step, you add the step in. It has to be able to execute off of it because if you don't, then you're losing, like you said, money on leaving money on the
I mean, it's
table.
ridiculous that if you're
Yeah.
going, your prep is better from working with your Gemini assistant.
Uh-huh.
You want all that context into the Gemini
Yeah,
assistant. And that's where I'm
absolutely.
working on that. Okay. So that's the
Mhm.
first loop. Second loop's a lot more complex. So I have Marbleism, and Marbleism is where my AI agents hold. And it has this 4 agents in each. But what Marbleism did is they make it unlimited. So you could have 40 projects and still just pay a certain amount of money. So I have different projects for each client, and they're doing certain things: emails, finding leads, doing social media posts. Each agent's different, but I have my executive assistant for each one of them put a draft in the email every day. The biggest challenge is getting Marbleism to do this and not go ahead and create 40 drafts for anything in my email box.
Mhm.
I'm still not figured that out. It just doesn't do it. At one point, I'm going to just pull the plug on this whole loop. This is not the loop. This is my team. Or just see Pat send an email that's an urgent email, and 40 of them respond drafts. If I have to deal with that, I have to deal with that. If this
Right.
fixes the problem, that I can go and get a snapshot of every one of my agents. So I built it in Spark. Okay, Spark, give me a brief of every day at 6 p.m. based on the draft email that's in my email. You can't do this with any other agent, right? What I'm doing with Spark, you can't do with anybody else. Would you agree what I'm putting together to that level?
No, not really. I'm sure you could. Why couldn't you?
If
Why
you didn't have
couldn't I
access,
create?
if you only certain APIs don't give you certain access to email, and Google has full access you give because it's a Google product. So
Yeah,
I
I
want
guess
somebody
so.
to come
Yeah.
back with me on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so it does it. And I said, well, I summarized it into 4. I said, no, they're all different projects. So I had to tweak the Spark, and now I see if the Spark is set up or not. What's nice about this is I don't have time to go look at what my agents are doing, pulling leads, how they're if they're getting any responses, they're doing everything. Now it's in a loop with that draft email, and hopefully it works. The only caveat is imagine, Pat, 20 draft emails that I don't want them to respond to that, and I tell them to not do it, and they still do it.
Oh my goodness.
How do you fix that problem? That means Marvelism's not the right thing.
Yeah, no.
So those are my 2 loops. Response on that one. Pretty amazing. 40 employees being managed by Spark.
Yes, definitely. That's awesome.
So
Love it.
anything you want to add to that?
No, I don't because I haven't got there yet. I need to get there. I love to play with that stuff, but you're on the right track. You've got your loops. I mean, you're doing the right thing. I can't sit there and go, "Hey, yeah, I've got that excited," because I haven't got there yet. I don't play with Marbleism. I see it pop up occasionally. I'm
That's
like, "Oh,
probably
look at."
because I've been doing it, and I'm probably in your account. And when I post in your account and log in, and probably it takes all my data, and that's why you've been promoted to Marvelism. The
Yeah.
problem with Marvelism is it would be perfect for you and
Uh-huh.
Rich. I'm bringing
Yeah.
it out because I'm like, I don't care because it
Mhm.
hasn't made me a lot of money. I would say
Yeah.
it's done one thing and had a draft email ready for someone that was going to pay via credit card on PayPal, and it already had the link for me, so I had to push a button, so it saved me 5 minutes, and it got a
Mm.
sale. So I'll say it did produce, but the revenue that's produced by Spark and Google is far more better, way more
Hmm.
better. And this is no code at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm creating loops without code. I'm not having to use any code. I'm not using vibe coding. I'm doing this all through prompts and then creating a continuous, no, a loop. So those are two loops. Now here's the Fruit Loops question. Now I'm going crazy. In Gemini, I think their voice is the best. I mean, I'm sorry, Claude is the best voice AI assistant now. Bar none.
Hmm.
It's surpassed ChatGPT. It's surpassed. I'm having a conversation with Claude, and I like because it's British. So I'm like, okay, this seems really knowledgeable and interesting. So in this British conversation I'm having with Claude, and I think Claude is a British name. I always think of this is a US based company, but it doesn't act US based. And I don't know
Uh-huh.
why that is. Do you know, Pat?
No, I don't. No.
Okay. So I'm creating a loop for every client. So,
Hmm.
and it says have it first read the running record. So you'll have a document in Claude Cowork, and then
Right.
go do this. And then each day, once a week, only once a week, because it's not every day I'm doing. That would be burning credits like crazy.
Uh-huh.
Run these types of prompts. So I have maybe 2 or 3 prompts and it does them. And I asked, well, scheduling them, does that cost anything? No, it's just the work. I don't think I'm going to burn it with 40 clients, am I?
Yeah. No, no, I think you should be fine.
But I'm
Although I think
creating it where I don't have to do it anymore. So it's doing research,
Mhm.
it's doing
Right.
specific things for that client, and I'm tweaking each one of them and then have a document to do it. I'm not done yet with those. I've only created 14 agents so far.
Okay.
I have to
All
create
right.
40 before I release everything. Thoughts on that with Claude? So this is
Yep.
really high end stuff that then it's going to
Hmm.
be created into a Google document at one point in time. And in that Google document, that's going to be history that's going to go back as Spark. Do you see how I'm connecting the dots with everybody in this
Hmm.
organization?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can visualize it. I can see how you've got it all set up. It makes sense. Having those touch points loop through, like you said, you've got that document there of, kind of the knowledge that you've already had with those clients and what those touch
That's a
points were.
knowledge document. That's what they
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect. Because yeah, a lot of people, they'll miss that knowledge document. And when they miss it, it doesn't, if they miss that knowledge document, the bot doesn't really know what to do, how to process it. If they see it, then they go, "Oh, hey, this
So
makes sense. I can move
they'll
on."
be doing it and then I make changes. So I'm going to be using Claude Cowork to do that. Do you think anybody else would do that better than Claude Cowork?
No, no, I don't. Because yeah, Manus, no, Manus is good. They have some tasks. That's what I use, just because of the access point. But knowing that you can go through and using Claude co-work, that's great. Perplexity has Perplexity Computer, but I'm not really sold on Perplexity. I'm about ready to pull that subscription.
And go back to
It's only
Claude?
$20. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't
I'm just a huge
I
fan of Claude.
I
Here's
know.
another
I
thing I
know.
learned. I don't need
Yeah.
web designers anymore. Sorry, web
Ah,
designers. Here's my tip of the day. Create and Claude design the website, put it to Netlify, host it on Netlify, and guess what? Cost you nothing but the domain.
yeah.
Then, if you have clients and they want to update your website, they only can go to you because you created it from scratch as code. Then
Yeah.
there's no transfer off. If you're going to transfer it off, you're going to have them for life. And if you do the transfer off, they're going to have to go hire another developer to take code that was created just by Claude Design.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I can
And I
build.
did see Claude had a new is it Workbench or something like that? It's for API testing. I was like, oh. So I just saw that pop up
So
today.
have you heard of Netlify?
No.
So Netlify is better than using, let's say, some of the other options because that's what AI Claude told me. Netlify lets you host websites. If you get a bunch of them, you're gonna have to pay something, but it's hardly anything. And then basically, you just keep uploading the files again when you update the website. So if you go to make updates, you make them all in Claude Design, and then upload the file again, and it replaces the other file, and it's done. So
Nice.
you're basically becoming a coder now. You don't need to
Hmm.
code anymore. And here's the thing that I'll be is I'm a marketer, so I know what a website looks like, guys. I can get exactly the designed website I want. Because I did purchase something else, and I remember I was all excited about it. It's garbage. I'm gonna have to cancel the plan. I might just call my
Ah.
credit card company, say it's not what they said it would be, and and they said no, and I said so. They have a great idea. I'm just gonna go take it to 10 Web. Sorry, 10 Web. Maybe you can give me some free credits or something to make me happy. But
Hmm.
no, you should just use Claude Design. You should use us, and then just take it to Netlify, and it's much easier process. Then you don't have to
Oh,
use
yeah.
WordPress anymore. And guess what? It helps the speed. No plugins. Pat, you can
Hmm.
install your own plugins using Claude Design, and you don't have to worry about anything.
Okay. Yeah, and it's something I could probably do because I do have a WordPress site up on uh, SiteGround. So I use SiteGround. If I can connect into SiteGround and
Okay,
push
I'm
my
going to
code up
show
that
you
way.
right now what my Claude design of my new website. People are going to see it for the first time. So we're going to go to Netlify
Mhm.
and see it, that I built it. Netlify. Here we go. So shout out to Netlify. I'm sure you'll be targeted on that, Pat, right now. I'm
Oh, I'm
positive.
sure.
And here's my project and website. Okay, this one here. Latest developed was this one here, Firm Foundation Group. It's my
Uh-huh.
NAL, my client's NAL to the pros website. And here you go. This is my website
Wow, that looks good. I like
built
it.
in 2 hours. After I
Wow.
tried Wix, having AI direct me in Wix,
Hmm.
goodbye, Wix. Wix better catch up on this because at one point in time, why are we going to need these sites if we can build them that quickly
Hmm.
and design them exactly we want them? So it goes to services, about, team, there's their blog created, and then book a strategy call, boom, all of it
Nice.
done. So what do you think of that? That's pretty crazy,
Yeah,
right?
that's great. So how do you get a custom domain? How do you get your domain in there instead
Oh,
of the
that's easy. The
netlify.net?
Netlify let you just put it in the domain and it's live.
Okay.
It's still in development
Yeah, yeah,
and it
absolutely.
connects to domains, all the different production stuff.
Yeah.
And let me show you Claude Design, guys, what Claude Design does.
Yep.
Claude Design, Claude screwed a partner that they took all their intellectual stuff and then killed them off. That's not nice. Uh, what was it called? Figma. Figma does the same thing as Claude Design does, and they stole Figma's intellectual property, and basically Figma's no longer Figma. Are you there, Pat?
I'm
So
here.
this
I
is
love your
another one
Figma.
I did. This is another
Nice.
one I did, but you can pull all the images right from there. But it's
Uh-huh.
just like design, and this is another client's website. But I'm like, why am I going to have to build websites anymore? So
Hmm.
what it said is, so I asked, what do you think, AI? Oh, you should lower your prices. No, I'm going to still charge the same price. What do you mean? Why? Because I have a brand. You're right. That's very smart because you can get right into the marketing. You can build the website in 2 days, ship it, and then start on the marketing. And I said, exactly. What is the
Yeah.
biggest mistake for businesses? They wait forever to build a website
Hmm. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you just
Absolutely.
screenshot exactly the design you want, and Claude Design will do it for you. But it
Hmm.
probably is expensive, right? I'm paying $100 a month for Claude Design. I
Yeah.
mean, for Claude, I'm probably gonna have to go to 200, but I'm gonna max out at 200 and pay API. And guess what? I've
Mm.
still not used the great. Oh, and ChatGPT launched their new thing. Have you gotten a chance to try that yet?
Nope. Have not tried that yet. No.
So we want people to comment. Our AI videos get big views. We want you
Oh
to
yeah.
comment about office hours. Okay. Pat's the tech guy. I'm not an AI expert or AI consultant. Pat is.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
when is your business coming out?
Oh, it's out. Just let me know. Contact me. I'm out there. The Riley AI group, it's there. But no, if there's any questions, people say, "Hey, how would I do this?" I'll play with it. I'll see how we can get it going. I'll be your consultant. But Neil, like I said, you've been doing a lot of work on this too, so I'd love to pick your brain too, because
No,
that's how I
I
stay
that's
sharp.
then that's right. And I'm going to tell you, I just don't. That's not why I'm here. I'm trying
Uh-huh.
to put it into my own business. I'm trying to make
Yeah.
AI all part of my business. I don't
Mhm.
want to be to be part of that AI bubble in that fall. Make as
Yeah.
much money as you want fast, guys, because at one point it's not going to be necessary. You
Hmm.
basically allowed people like me with no tech skills to really just take it to the next level,
Hmm.
and you can't replace me as the podcaster. I
Yeah.
will create as many podcasts as I want. I'll ask the right questions. And I think they said the prompt is dead. I don't believe
No.
it is. I believe the prompt has evolved because I've proven I can do loops without
Hmm.
having OpenClaw. I have
Yeah.
a potential new client that says he's been doing OpenClaw and building apps and all those different things. I said, but you're right, Pat. They have their own business, but they need to be focusing on getting sales. And all they're
Yeah.
doing is getting caught up in creating stuff that's paying
Hmm.
them nothing.
Yeah. Yeah,
instead of
you
building a
got to get it
brand.
out there, just like writing books, and that's how I kind of assimilate to write books. I have a large library just sitting there. I have to complete it, get it out there, so I can make a little bit of money. Books are not going to be that's not where it's coming from. It's just a fun little side hobby, but that's why I'm kind of looking at my AI business. It's a fun side hobby, but I make a lot of money in the corporate world, so I can't give that up.
No,
That's
why
a
would
that's a
you? That's you
Yeah,
just keep doing
exactly.
that and you do it on your side hustle.
Uh-huh.
And you make sure you
Absolutely.
create agents down the line. But that's pretty
Mhm.
impressive that I have 50 plus employees, right? They're
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
AI. And I'm
Hmm.
telling you, sorry, the reason I'm doing this is because this is where the business is going. So go again to all Pat's websites, all the different things. And we appreciate you guys coming by for the first real office hours, AI office hours with Pat
Yeah.
Riley and Neil the Media Giant Haley. Make sure you like, subscribe to the podcast. We're here. And guess what? I want you to come attack me. How dare you say no code? I don't need to use Claude Code. All you guys that confuse people. I will use my method in madness, and it's all up here. And I will continue to be mad because my mad scientists may say I could have 1,000 employees running, rolling, but the only way to do it is to have the infrastructure in place. And that's the challenge. Not enough
Hmm.
time in the day. But am I going to lose business just to go and run it out, Pat? Absolutely not. It's just
Yeah.
another part of the hobby. Appreciate it, Pat.
Absolutely, man. Well, thanks, bud.
Underwaybooks.com. That was the special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and AI office hours, guys. Take care.